October has always been a huge month for game releases. So is 2018 any different? Well, there's a new Rockstar game, so why don't you tell me? What's going on YouTube? My name is Ryan Ramakrishnan, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about video games, many of which are already out, but more so about games that are coming out because I love to get hyped. And just like so many of you, I'm extremely excited to create my own epic in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, exploring ancient Greece as Cassandra and Alexios.
My men are ferocious in a ground assault, but we're outnumbered.
And Diocles fights with the fury of Ares.
Join us in battle. If you're half the warrior Kira says you are, we'll grind these Athenians into dust.
But I'm also arguably more excited to explore the Wild West in the beautiful open world that Rockstar has created in Red Dead Redemption 2, arguably the biggest game this year, if not one of the biggest games this entire generation.
You can get into raucous altercations, take in a show, chase down bounties, fight a duel, and a lot more.
So yeah, I'm extremely excited for all these high-profile titles. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has this Battle Royale mode, Blackout. And it looks extremely good, possibly going to give Fortnite and PUBG a run for their money. And of course, we have a new Mega Man game, finally. And Super Mario Party is a return to form with what is great about Mario Party games.
That looks cool. Ready? Do it.
Oh, game on.
So October is good. There's a lot of great games coming out. But just like many other months this year, I think that some games are kind of falling by the wayside. I think that there are a few titles that are going to release this month that people are already forgetting about because of the high profile of the other aforementioned titles. Without further ado, I'm going to dive right into just talking about 3 games that are coming out this month of October 2018 that I think have already been forgotten and they're not even out yet. The first noteworthy game of October that I believe has already been forgotten about is Soul Calibur 6. Yes, there's actually a new Soul Calibur game coming out. Who knew?
Take up your weapon and fight. Your life depends on it.
The game actually has some impressive graphics and visuals, and it looks like a joy to play for fighting game fans of all sorts. Now, I'm not a Soul Calibur fan, I've never played the series, but I've certainly watched it from afar and noticed that those games are really good. There's a lot of polish in the fighting systems, and the sword melee weapon sort of combat is really interesting, and I find it to be something that looks like a joy to play. And also, Geralt of Rivia is in this game. Yes, from Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, everyone's favorite game this generation. But also, like I said, Soul Calibur 6 looks really good. It looks polished. It's improving a lot on the series, a series which has not had a main release in quite some time right now. It has been 6 years since Soul Calibur 5 released on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, so it is more than overdue for a nice proper sequel in this fighting game series. And also, it's kind of interesting because Soul Calibur 6 is acting of a reboot of sorts.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold.
It is taking the original story of the first Soul Calibur game and then retelling it in a nice modern way, but also adding some new stuff to it. So it's going to be kind of like the definitive story of Soul Calibur. And also, it is a really big game for the developers. They really were not even sure about releasing it in the first place because the series, I guess, has sort of lost the attention and outcry from fans, which sucks because it is a very popular series amongst its hardcore fan base and fighting game fans alike. But Soul Calibur 6 actually could be the end of the series. Should this game not perform commercially well and succeed in that department where it actually sells well, it might never get a sequel, and that could be it for Soul Calibur. And that's extremely sad because of the amount of hard work and effort and dedication that the team behind these games in the series has been putting over the years and is totally putting into this game. So totally don't sleep on this game if you're a fighting game fan, because this is just another nice fighting game to get into and play competitively, online, cooperatively with your friends. And there's also the single player story mode. But you can also create your own character, and there's a lot of depth to that, whether you're talking about race or hair or any other facial features, but also fighting styles. I think that's really cool and unique, and it totally opens the door for a lot of fun to be had with this game. And if you're a Soul Calibur fan, of course you're already picking this up. But otherwise, I think a lot of people are forgetting this is even releasing this year. So totally give it some attention, watch the trailers, check it out. And I think that if you like fighting games, you gotta get into this game because it's gonna be huge. And like I said, it could be the end of the series. So the fate lies in your hands.
The rest is in your hands.
The second game that I want to give some attention to coming out this month is Call of Cthulhu. I think it looks really interesting, and this is a new IP for gaming.
Greetings, and welcome to Call of Cthulhu, the official adaptation of Chaosium's tabletop RPG from Focus Home Interactive and Cyanide Studio.
Call of Cthulhu is totally the most unique game coming out this month just because of its different storytelling and approach to role-playing games and sort of like horror games and adventure games all together. I think it looks super cool, and I'm totally interested in what Call of Cthulhu has to offer in the story department. There are all these mechanics like a sanity meter, which actually does as what you'd expect. It sort of tests the player's sanity. They can go insane based on things that are happening in the game, and it can really mess with you, and I think it'll mess with your systems in the game, and can be something totally interesting and a creative mechanic for a game, especially in 2018 when so many games are copying other mechanics. It's good to see something fresh and different like that and something really cool. So Call of Cthulhu has a mystery to be told, and you are doing some detective work. And of course, that is an implication of the gameplay. There's a system where you get to sort of solve crimes, but in a special way that Call of Cthulhu would only do.
The encounter with groundskeeper Winchester can be resolved in a number of ways. Intimidation, subterfuge, good old-fashioned sneaking, it's your choice.
And then there's also the skills. You get to upgrade your own skills and sort of play to your own style. But here's the thing. If you work on one skill, like say lockpicking or some sort of thing like that, then maybe you won't have that ability to talk fast and be clever with your words and charismatic in a sort of way. So if one skill is more improved upon than the other, it might affect how much progress you can make. And that could be a unique and interesting approach to gameplay and choices you make, because games with choices, whether they're dialogue options or what skills you want to upgrade in a skill tree or what you want to craft or so-and-so like that, are really interesting when done right, because sometimes these games can really impact your experience over somebody else's experience. And I think Call of Cthulhu is going to do a good job with that. And like I said, it's got this really interesting story to tell.
Pierce is not a magical being, but he is extremely perceptive and a great investigator.
This cool Lovecraftian world, which is very moody and atmospheric. It's dark, it looks beautiful. The graphics look quite nice when you're looking at the night skies and the world itself. So I think this is going to be a super cool game and a really creative IP, and something for RPG fans and fans of choices in video games to dive right into and really explore the ability to create your own story in a sense, but also following their own storytelling that the developers are providing you, which is totally going to be cool. So I'm really excited for something fresh like this, and it's also coming out right in time for Halloween, so that's kind of the perfect game to play at the ending of this month. So do not sleep on Call of Cthulhu.
The more you discover, the closer you come to truth, the further you push your sanity to the brink and risk the abyss of madness.
And the third and final game that I want to shed some light on for this month is Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Your crew is lost.
You've probably heard about it because it has Star Fox in it, and rightfully so. That's kind of the reason why it's such an awesome looking game. So Starlink Battle for Atlas, before I even talk about what it is, because some of you may have no idea what it is not actually a Nintendo Switch exclusive. It'll be on PS4 and Xbox, but the Switch version has Star Fox in it, so if that doesn't have you sold as a Star Fox fan out there, then I don't know what will, because the last Star Fox game on the Wii U was nothing short of a disappointment for the series, so this, oddly enough, might be that step forward for the franchise. But enough about that. We'll get back to Star Fox, because like I said, it's kind of a huge selling point. Starlink looks really cool, though. It sort of has these No Man's Sky vibes. And sure, you know, No Man's Sky was controversial when it released a couple of years back, but as recently as this summer when it launched on the Xbox One, No Man's Sky is an improved game, but we're not really worried about what No Man's Sky did. over its development cycle and how it progressed, because Starlink seems to be taking what is cool about No Man's Sky and its concepts of exploring space and all these planets. We're getting the ability to just fly around space and drop off at some planets, look around, find some interesting creatures to fight and maybe to record information about, and just explore a beautiful galaxy. It looks super cool.
What are we waiting for? Let's get out there.
Go show them what Starlink can do.
Starlink Battle for Atlas, of course, has its spaceship combat as well, dogfighting of sorts, similar if not identical to what Star Fox is known for and loved for. So in Starlink, you'll be able to mess around with your ships and create your own. It looks like you'll be able to customize a lot and have a lot of fun with some nice space fights. And I think that those kind of games are super dope, a lot of fun to play. A lot of people really enjoy that. Right there is a reason to check this game out. But also, if you like Ubisoft open world games, then I think that this could be something that you'll love, because Ubisoft has a certain way of making a fun world to mess around and explore. Not everyone likes it, but generally speaking, they do a pretty good job with it. I have to say, objectively, they know how to make a world that you can get lost in, and Starlink is going to take you to space.
You're ready.
It's something completely different, so I think that that is kind of a reason why you should give some attention to Starlink instead of just passing it off as another game from Ubisoft or something. But of course, Star Fox, right? Let's go back to Star Fox, because you could actually play as Fox.
Let's rock and roll, boys.
Star Fox characters appear in Starlink Battle for Atlas as playable. They're in the cutscenes. They're in the story. They're just thrown in there. And it's super cool. You can check out some gameplay on YouTube of Star Fox gameplay in Starlink, and it looks super natural. And I think that's really awesome that Ubisoft has such a nice partnership with Nintendo. Of course, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle was their last big partnership deal, but now Star Fox in this new IP called Starlink, that works. That's going to sell it for sure, especially because Star Fox is kind of in need of a proper sequel. And I think that this, if anything, is a game that's going to fill that void.
All units, G diffusers set to max. We're going top speed.
And it's going to be a huge game for the Switch. But otherwise, if you're not a Switch player, I still think you got to give some attention to Starlink, because it's a new IP. The Toys for Life option is only optional. You don't have to do it at all. You can completely get through the game and progress without it. But if you want to do that, collectors can get their hands on some really cool looking spaceships and stuff.
Mixing and matching your modular toys and seeing them instantly come to life on your screen can be done in 4 easy steps.
It could leave some room for some variety and customization in your gameplay.
There are a lot of possible combinations, and experimentation is strongly encouraged and often rewarded.
It's a unique new IP with a really cool space setting and stuff like that. And I think that Starlink Battle for Atlas overall is just a cool game that you need to give some more attention to, because it is, like I said, at the very least, a proper Star Fox sequel.
You will show me how to make Nova.
Alright, that is all I have for you today. Those are the 3 games coming out in October 2018 that I think look exciting and I think deserve your attention, and I think that have already been kind of forgotten before they're even released. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. And you can ring that notification bell to stay updated for future uploads, because I love to talk about games that are coming out and get hyped. And the fall holiday season is the best time out of any to get hyped over video game releases. So let's get hyped about everything coming out. Let's talk about all these games that I made this video about in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on them. I want to know if Starlink Battle for Atlas is that proper Star Fox sequel that you're excited for. And I want to know if you're going to play it on PS4 and Xbox One, even though Star Fox is not in it. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're not looking forward to any of these games, but you're more so hyped for the games that everyone else is, well, hey, me too. So let's talk about those as well. Let me know everything you think in the comments below about October game releases. But wait to talk about others, because there will be videos about November, so we'll get there next time. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in that next video.